within last couple of days, we were discussing during formal and informal meetings with ministers of finance many critical issues. Of course, we were discussing the competitiveness of European Union. We were discussing energy market. But for sure, the most important issue that was discussed is security. And from the European perspective, the most important objective when it comes to security of Europe is, of course, just and lasting peace. Only then the Europeans can feel really safe. And we do know that a lasting peace can only be achieved from the position of strength, not from the position of weakness. And it is also clear that Europe has to take more responsibility for its own security and defense. It's clear for us that we need to increase defense spending. With that objective in mind, we have been discussing with the European Commission and Member States the issue of exclusion of defense investments from debt and deficit calculations. Last month, as the Presidency, we put forward a proposal on the way how to structure such an exclusion. Our plan is, I'd like to stress it, to keep the fiscal rules as they are, but to precisely describe them in the Code of Conduct. This would allow governments to invest in new equipment, jets, tanks, munition, without any negative impact on deficit and debt figures. And I welcome the fact that the President of the Commission and many leaders agree with this approach that we need to increase the spending on defense. We may not have precisely the same view on how this should be achieved, which is why we start intense discussion at technical level already tomorrow. And in March, I will put the issue on the ECOFIN agenda so that finance ministers can discuss specific details. We aim to finalize this work during our presidency, hopefully in May. The result should be that our defense readiness, that our defense capabilities, our security will substantially increase. Second, we also discussed the need to get ready with a pan-European financial mechanism that would allow governments to collectively finance production and procurement of weapons. There are estimates suggesting that we could save up to 40 billion euro annually if we bought weapons together. I will not provide you with more details as to how much a mechanism could look like, but I already like to invite you to informal ECOFIN in Warsaw this April, where this will be the main topic of ministers' discussions. The reason why I will not say more about it today is also related to the fact that first we need to have an answer to the question about what needs to be bought and purchased. This should come in March with a white paper from Commissioner Kubilius. Then in April we'll address the question how to finance it. And third, for the Polish presidency, simplification and deregulation is a top priority. This is why I put this topic on each ECOFIN meeting. In this context, we discussed today with Commissioner the competitiveness compass. There is an urgency among the member states and in the Commissioner to deliver. Now we look forward to the first ambitious omnibus proposal. Europe must become an economic superpower, not a regulatory one. We're of course also discussing support for Ukraine and further sanctions on Ukraine. There are growing evidence that Russian economy is not as strong as it's like to be perceived. This is also another argument that we must increase our economic pressure on Russia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Commissioner, the floor is yours.